Hola, estudiantes. Today we are going to learn about article-noun-adjective agreement. Now this is very important because in Spanish, the article, the noun, and the adjectives always have to agree in both number and gender. Now before we get too far into that, I need to explain first in our little mini English lesson what is an article, what is a noun, and what is an adjective. Let's start with the noun. So a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. In this case, we have a singer, a city, and a hamburger. Or in Spanish, un cantante, una ciudad, or una hamburguesa. So what is an article? An article identifies a noun. In this case, we're just going to focus on definite articles. So we would have the singer, the city, and the hamburger, or in Spanish, el cantante, la ciudad, and la hamburguesa. So definite articles in Spanish are a lot different than in English. In English, you would use the regardless of how many you had. It would be the cat or the cat. Spanish, it's a lot different. In Spanish, there are 4 different definite articles, and it varies depending on whether it's a masculine or feminine noun and whether it's singular or plural. Let's look at some examples. Let's talk about adjectives first, and then we'll look at examples. My bad. So what is an adjective? An adjective describes a noun. For example, black as in black cat, or fast as in fast car. Okay? So the adjective describes the noun. The noun is a person, place, or thing, and the article identifies the noun. When we put them together in Spanish, once again, they all need to agree in both number and gender. Let's look at some examples of that, and I will explain what I mean. So, for example, here we have el gato negro. Gato is the noun, and it is singular and masculine. And so that tells us that we need to have a singular and masculine definite article, el, and then the adjective needs to agree, and it needs to be masculine and singular as well, which is why we have el gato negro. On the other hand, if we had more than one cat, it would be los gatos negros. One of those cats was late to the party, I don't know why. Los gatos negros. Notice that the definite article changes to los because it's now plural and masculine, and because it's gatos and it's plural, negros also needs to have an S on it to agree in number with the noun. Now let's look at an example of a noun that is feminine. Okay? So here we have la tortuga grande. So tortuga, the noun, once again dictates what the other two do. It's like the friend of the group that's the most pushy or the most controlling. So because tortuga is singular and feminine, we would use the definite article that is also singular and feminine, la. And grande is singular, and grande is a little bit different because it's not, this one can be either masculine or feminine because it ends in an E. It doesn't need to change. So it wouldn't change if it was attached to a masculine noun. It would be just the same, grande. So here, because it's singular, we have la tortuga grande. On the other hand, if we had more than one, and because they're more than one, they're going to be smaller. So they don't look as big, but let's use the same adjective just to be consistent. We have las tortugas grandes. Because tortugas was feminine and plural, las has to be feminine and plural, and grandes has to be plural. once again, it's a word that doesn't need to change masculine or feminine because it ends in an E. So all we had to do was make it agree in number by adding S. I hope this made it clear how to make articles, nouns, and adjectives agree in both number and gender. Ciao, estudiantes.